Well, good morning, everybody. This is kind of a little bit different today. Sure, you noticed I got a patch on my eye. Thursday, when I was going to work, I'm just cruising along, listening to radio, and I noticed that the headlights and the tail lights started getting a weird look to them. I started getting like multiple images, and it was getting blurry. And so I closed my right eye, and it was like looking through one of those old kaleidoscope tubes. I closed my left eye, and everything was fine. So this is at 4:30 in the morning, or 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm on my way to work. Well, I get to work, and my boss, he didn't come in Thursday. He had to evacuate because of the fires down in the Temecula area. So he was home. I'm telling my coworkers, hey man, there's something going on with my vision. I don't know what's going on. And I said, I'm going to call my eye specialist once the office opens. So after 8 o'clock, well, right around 8 o'clock, I called and I explained to him what was going on. And the girl says, can you come in now? And I said, yeah. I said, I'm about an hour and 10 minutes away. She said, okay, just come straight in. So put all my stuff away at work. I jumped in my car, haul butt coming back down from the high desert back into Riverside. I get to the eye doctors. They take me in the back and they start doing all kinds of tests, and they're dilating my eye and they're looking inside and taking photos. And the specialist that I've been seeing for the last 20 years, I had cataracts way back in the day, and he did the cataract surgery. And what they do is they put these brackets in. They go in, they cut open your eye, they take your lens out because it's fogged over. They put little brackets in there, anchor those in there, and then they affix the new lens to those brackets. Well, he asked me, he says, have you been in any auto accidents or had any major head trauma within the last week? And I said, no, nothing. I was coughing, sneezing. He says, no. He says, I'm talking major head trauma, like your head hitting the pavement hard, hitting the windshield. I said, I laughed. I said, no, nothing like that. Why? And he says, well, the little brackets that hold your lens have broken, and your lens has floated up into your eye. And it's like, are you kidding me? He says, no. He says, we need to get you in for emergency surgery so we can get this taken care of. Now, this was Thursday. He said, I'm going to get the emergency authorization paperwork for you. Take it right immediately to your primary care doctor, have him fill it out, and fax it back to us as soon as possible, because you need to get this fixed. I said, okay. There's no pain. It's just can only see out of my right eye. If I don't wear the patch, and it's like looking through one of those kaleidoscopes. It's really hard to explain. And I get dizzy. So anyways, back to the story. I take the paperwork to my doctor's office. I explained to them. They said, no problem. My doctor came out and asked, what's going on, Don? I said, Alan, this is what's going on. He said, okay, give me the paperwork. He filled it all out and faxed it right. Okay, my battery died. I had to redo it, new battery. Well, anyways, my doctor faxes the paperwork over. I call the eye specialist. The girl there who was assigned to me, Susie, says, yes, we got the paperwork and everything's approved, but Dr. Pavlon is in surgery right now, and the soonest surgery date that we have is October 14th. And I'm like, okay. Dr. Papillon made it sound like I needed to have this fixed like ASAP, you know, it was emergency. I had to get all this paperwork done like right now. I figured I'd probably be going in for surgery tonight or tomorrow. And she says, well, he's in surgery right now, and I won't be able to talk to him again tomorrow, until tomorrow. She says, first thing, I'll talk to him, and I'll see what he says, because this is such extenuating circumstances. You know, this is a major issue. It's a major emergency. And I'll call you back first thing tomorrow after I talk to the doctor. Like, okay. Friday morning, 8 o'clock, okay, they open. I wait till 9, no word back. 10 o'clock, I start calling. I call the office, I dial her extension, says she's not available right now to leave a message. I called and left 5 messages for this girl. Nothing. At 3 o'clock, I finally call the front office and I talk to the receptionist. I tell her what's going on. She says, okay, hang on a minute. She says, okay, I got your chart right here. She says, when did you say that you were scheduled for surgery? And I said, they put me down October 16th, but then she called me back and said October 14th. And she says, okay, I do not have you scheduled for surgery at all on any date. And it's like, okay, well, can I talk to Susie? Well, Susie's not working today. And I said, excuse me? She said, yeah, Susie isn't here today. And I said, okay, is there any possibility somebody could talk to Dr. Papillon and ask him? I said, because he was very adamant about this being such a high-risk situation going on with my eye, and that I needed immediate emergency surgery. She said, well, he doesn't work on Fridays. It's like, okay, so Susie out and out lied to me Thursday when she told me that she was going to talk to the doctor on Friday. So I have to wait until Monday. I went ahead and I got a hold of my boss, told him I need a vacation day for Monday, because driving, it's very difficult because I have no depth perception. So it's a little sketchy. I mean, people with one eye drive all the time anyway, so I will learn. But this is a joke. Well, enough with my drama. Today is going to be, I've got a 79 IT250 engine that I got in a bunch of parts that I bought. And I had the carburetor on it, and it was missing the main jet. It was missing the pilot jet. Well, I got the jets. I got those all in there, and I kind of eyeball adjusted the floats. So I'm going to put some fuel to it and see if it leaks. This is a will the engine start and run video. It's not going to be very long. I'm just going nuts sitting in the house, watching everything one-eyed. But anyways, let me bring you over here to this engine, and I'll get you dropped down to where it's a little closer. Now, there's no exhaust on this. All it is the engine sitting on a little framework. This engine and framework that it's on used to go on a buggy. Let me be right back. Hang on. The guy that I bought all this stuff from, this package deal of stuff, said that there was a guy that used to make ODX, Owens Design, race cars. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but he used to build these cars, and he used motorcycle engines. They're like a little Class 1 single-seat buggy. Actually, they were pretty cool looking. The guy's out of Simi Valley. There's a stage 1, stage 2, a stage 3 kit, and that was an OX3 Warrior. And then they had an ODX3 Warrior, and they had an ODX4 Thunderbolt. And that had 3 different stages in it also. And I'm looking to see what it says about engines. In the ODX4 Thunderbolt, it said designed for use with large bore 2, 3, and 4 cylinder chain drive street bike engines. And the ODX3 Warrior was designed for a single cylinder 2 or 4 stroke engine. But anyways, that's what this IT400 was. Motor was for one of these cars. Anyways, let's get you over, set it up. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to start and run. Got a throttle cable hooked to it. I just got to pull it. I don't have a twist throttle for it. So let's get you over here and let me I'll bring you back when I get you set up. All right, got you set up here. Got some mixed fuel in this bottle. Don't have a lot, but it's at least a carburetor full. Put this line on here. Okay, turn it on and see if it leaks. Don't see any leaking. I've got the whole CDI system for it. I figured out the wiring, got it all plugged together. It's got really good spark. Okay, no leaking. Turn the choke on. I don't know how this is going to work. Pull the throttle a little bit and hold it with one hand. Oh, I see gas leaking, so let me turn this fuel off. Let me just get the fuel completely out of the way. All right. Well, at least there's some gas in the carburetor. No good way to hold this thing from moving and kick it. Oh, it popped. Well, okay, I guess that answered that. That was funny. Drop these legs down on this tripod so I can set you back down here. All right. Well, it starts and it runs. Guess I need to pull the carb and readjust those floats, but man, that thing sounds good. Now I just need to figure out what to put this in. I wonder if that would shoehorn into a one of those little YSR 50 chassis. That'd be a fun little bike. I do have a 75 250B MX chassis, and I've got a DT3 chassis, and I've got almost enough parts to make a complete bike. Since this is an IT, it's got a loading coil in it. So I might be able to get away. I have to put it in the DT, or not DT 250. Okay, it's a 75 250 BMX frame. I'll have to set it in there and see how the motor mounts line up. I've also got an 85 YZ250. The motor's blown up. The rod bearing went out. Needs board, and it needs a piston. Well, I got the rod kit for it, but I'm curious how much different the motor mounts are between this 79 IT250 and an 85 YZ250. That'd be fun to put this motor in that YZ frame. Just don't put the radiators in it, put the radiator shrouds on it, nobody know the difference. I could just make that a really fun trail bike. I guess basically in 79, the IT250 was almost identical to the YZ250. It's just that it had a wide ratio gearbox. So the motor, a lot of the parts on the motor are interchangeable. But maybe tomorrow I'll roll that 250MX out of the shed, pull that bottom end out, and see if this motor will drop in that chassis. But I do have 2 more engines up here on my bench. They're 73 ATMX motors. I just need to finish putting the bottom ends on. I need to get the cylinders bored out for the pistons. Well, one of them needs to be bored. The other one just needs to be honed, and then I can put the piston and put the top end back in it. Once I get those 2 engines done, what I'm going to do, since I already have a running ATMX, I'll pull that motor out and I'll put one of these motors in it and run it, see how it runs, get it broke in, pull the motor out. I'll put the other new motor in it, do the same. That way I get the motors tuned up perfect, because the bikes that those go in are still rolling chassis, and they are so rusted out and roached out, they need to be completely redone. And that'll be later on down the road. But at least this way, I have the motors finished. I can box them up and put them up on the shelf and get them out of the way, and that way I'll have more room on my bench to do other projects. It's been a long time coming on these 2 ATMX engines, but slowly but surely they're getting there. I just need to stop putting other bikes in front of doing them. But anyways, yeah, that IT250 started up. Took a little bit to get it started, but it did start. Just boom, right up. Sure burned that carburetor empty quick. But anyways, thanks for hanging out, listening to my sob story about my eyeball. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me and listening to me, and I'll probably come back out tomorrow, do some work on these 125 engines, and I'll bring you along for that. But for now, hit that like button or the thumbs up if you don't mind. Subscribe. That helps out a lot. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a great day.